Hey friends, it's Hannah. Tonight I want to talk about something that doesn't get said nearly enough. Sometimes the deepest betrayal in a woman's life does not come from a stranger. It comes from her own family. This story was shared with me by a friend who gave me permission to tell it without names because she hopes it might help another woman spot the signs early and protect herself before it is too late. Her larger story is headed for a book soon, but tonight I want to give you the part that matters most right now. And if you have ever been the daughter who watched your brother get the praise, the protection, the land, the loyalty, and the benefit of every doubt while you were expected to be grateful for scraps, then this is for you. Because in a whole lot of southern, mountain, and rural families, the sons are still valued differently. The boys get excused. The boys get defended. The boys get centered. And the daughters are taught to be useful, quiet, respectful, and easy to overlook. My friend learned young what family hierarchy looked like. She was only 18 years old, with a little baby, cleaning her mother's house, when she found a blue legal paper tucked away among family photographs. She thought it was her recent divorce paperwork, and maybe her mom had put it there in the drawer. It wasn't. It was her parents' will. And in that will were words no daughter ever forgets. To my daughter, I bequeath $1. $1. Her younger brother was left everything. She did not scream. She did not throw a fit. She quietly put it back and told them she had seen it. They apologized. They said it would be changed. They gave excuses. They said it had to do with her ex-husband. But something inside her understood the truth right then and there. When a family loves you, they do not erase you because they dislike the person you married. And when parents can look at their own daughter and grandchild and write $1 on a page, something is broken far deeper than paperwork. Still, like so many daughters do, she spent years trying to be good enough to be included. She stayed close. She called. She visited. She bought lunch. She helped. She paid for things. She and her new husband did labor, maintenance, repairs, and showed up again and again because she still believed love, loyalty, and consistency might matter in the end. Years later, the parents told her they were selling the farm to her brother, but that she would one day get the home, in town. So she and her husband did what decent people do. They helped them move. They helped maintain that property in town for years. They paid for supplies. They handled work the brother never offered to help them do anything for their parents. They never asked to be repaid because she thought she was helping family and honoring what she had been told. It was always my friend buying gifts for the parents. She said you could walk in their home and not find one thing the brother bought or did for them. He was always the taker of the family, the chosen one that felt he was owed something. But behind the scenes, she later came to believe a whole different game had been played. The fine details will be in the book. Details that make your heart shed tears. Money moved quietly. Assets shifted quietly. Control shifted quietly. And she was kept in the dark while still being used for labor, loyalty, and emotional supply. Then came the moment that ripped the curtain all the way down. After a normal visit and lunch one Monday, her father was hospitalized later that week. Nobody told her. She had to start calling around herself just to confirm where they were. She was told by her mother, after calling to see if he was admitted to the hospital, that he had COVID, which kept her at a distance because of her own health concerns. But then, while speaking to him on the phone, she could hear her brother's little grandchildren playing in the hospital room. That is when her spirit knew something was wrong. Things were not adding up. She was being kept back, and she was being kept back on purpose. While her father was in the hospital and then they sent him to rehab, her mother was moved into assisted living with the help of her brother. Again, no one told her where they would even be moving to. No one gave her their new phone number. She asked her mother where she was moving, but her mother said she didn't know the name. My friend knew she was not being honest with her. She asked her Momo for the new phone number, and the mother said she didn't know it either. No one included her in the decisions. She later learned the brother held the power of attorney. She had also been told a few years back that the mother had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She had not been told that by her parents or her brother. They were weird about their health issues, not wanting to share anything with her. She didn't ask because her mother would have become indignant. Think about that. A daughter who had stayed in touch, shown up, helped, paid, cared, and tried her whole life to do right by her parents was cut out of the major family decisions as though she did not exist. The rest of the cousins in the family wouldn't discuss anything with her either. She just kept asking herself, what is going on? Why are they doing this to me? She was the most intelligent one in the room, and they loved to paint her a complete blank. She and her husband drove to her hometown and literally drove from one assisted living center to another until they physically found where they lived on the day her father came home from rehab. Can you imagine that feeling? To have to hunt for your own parents as though you were a stranger. And your brother wouldn't talk, wouldn't call, and totally avoided you. He was in charge. To realize that life-changing decisions had been made and everybody knew except you. To stand there and feel the full weight of what it means to be the excluded child. And the more she saw, the more a lifetime of clues began to line up. The son had already received the farm. There had been equipment, antiques, furniture, guns, vehicles, cash, and other valuable items transferred or informally handed over. Meanwhile, she had been paying with her time, her money, her effort, and her heart. That kind of betrayal does something terrible to a woman's mind, because it is not just about money, it is about meaning. It makes you ask, what did I do wrong? Why was I never enough? Why did I obey, help, honor, stay close, and still get cast aside? Why was my brother given value and I was given invisibility? My friend even questioned her own identity. She chased every possible explanation in her mind, even wondering if there was some deeper family secret behind why she had always been treated as less than. That is how profound family rejection can be. It makes a person question their whole place in the story. And one line she said to me has never left me. She said, in so many words, that a person can have an identity inside themselves, but to their family, it can be as if they do not exist at all. That is not a small wound. That is soul-level grief. So what do you do with a story like this? First, if something in your family has felt off for years, do not gaslight yourself just because it is painful to admit. Repeated exclusion is information. Being left out over and over is information. Sudden secrecy around money, wills, deeds, powers of attorney, diagnoses, housing moves, hospital stays, or family decisions is information. Second, do not build your whole future around the hope that people who have never truly valued you will finally do right by you at the end. I hate saying that, but some women need to hear it. Do not spend your best years trying to earn a seat at a table where they decided long ago not to honor you. Build your own life. Build your own security. Build your own peace. And third, if there are major assets, legal questions, or suspicious behavior, get legal counsel immediately, preferably from outside the family's little circle of influence. Not gossip, not guesses, real legal advice. Because once control is centralized in the hands of the wrong person, a lot can happen quietly. Now I want to say something especially to young women. Please do not ignore the early signs. If you are being treated like the afterthought daughter, if your labor is welcome, but your voice is not, if your brother is centered while you are managed, minimized, or used, do not just sit there hoping love will magically appear one day because you have been good enough. Be wise early. Get your education. Get your skills. Get your footing. Get your own name, your own security, your own plan, and your own future lined up. Because families like this can cost a woman decades. My friend was a good person, No drugs, no drinking, no running. She went to church, worked every day, and tried to be a good mom herself. This dynamic is serious, and it can cost a woman so much. Not just in money, in confidence, in belonging, in emotional stability, in the ability to trust her own perceptions. And that may be the deepest theft of all. My friend ultimately made a painful decision. She walked away quietly. Not because it did not matter, not because she was weak, but because at some point, a woman has to stop standing at the locked gate of somebody else's approval and start building a life that does not require their permission. So if this story sounds familiar to you, let this be your wake-up call. Spot the pattern. Believe what you are seeing. Protect yourself. Do not announce every win. Do not depend on people who have shown you, again and again, that your heart does not move them. And do not mistake blood ties for safety. You can build a better life than the one that tried to erase you. You can build a home where your children are equally loved. You can build security with your own hands. You can build peace after exile. And you can tell the truth, even if your voice shakes. That matters. If you have lived something like this, tell me in the comments only what you are comfortable sharing. And if legal or financial manipulation is part of your story, please talk to a qualified attorney in your area as soon as possible. If you are interested in my friend's life story, there is a book and it will be published soon. I'll keep you posted once it's completed. It's very detailed, and if you think this is unfair, wait until you read the details. It goes into the whole layout from the time the farm was transferred until today. I just wonder how many women out there live this tragedy. This is Hannah, signing out.